So, two form of realization we have already seen of the digital IIR filters, right? One was direct form 1 and another one was your direct form 2. So, I told you there are two more kind of realization. One is your cascade realization and another one is your parallel realization. Okay, for your IIR filters. Okay. Now, in cascade realization, cascade in the sense like you are arranging something in something successively. Okay, that is in series you are arranging something. What is that something here? That is nothing but your transformation. Okay, now when you have a transformation, you have a transfer function equation which is very lengthy. Okay, now if you go for realizing that as a single transfer function itself, the signal flow that you would be drawing will be very cumbersome and very confusing. So what that you do, as we did in direct form 2, we are going to split that into multiple transfer function. Like if you have h of z, see, you can see here h of z, it will be split into multiple smaller transfer function. Okay, and the main transfer function will be the product of all this individual decomposed transfer function. Okay, so you are basically splitting it. Okay, so the split h1z, h2z, or like how many ever transfer function you can split into depending upon the equation that you have. Okay, the product of all those individual transfer function will be giving you the main transfer function. Okay, so you need to keep in mind this is the product here. Okay, why I am stressing on this term product here is because in the parallel realization it is sum of the individual transfer function. Am I clear? So here it is product. In parallel realization that we would see, it will be the sum. Okay, so this almost similar thing that as you have seen in the direct form too. So you have your input x of n. So this entire transfer function, that is nothing but h of z, is split into h1 of z, h2 of z, and individual output of this. Output of y1, h1 of z becomes input to the h2 of z and goes on, and you at the end have your final output, that is nothing but y of n. Okay, now see, you can go for realizing these structures. See, this individual h1 of z, h2 of z, or h3 of z, or how many ever transfer function that you have, you are going to individually realize all this transfer function either using your direct form 1 or direct form 2. But we prefer using direct form 2. Why? Because the number of delay elements that you require is less. Okay, so from the designer point of view, if we see, it is always convenient to go for using direct form 2 in order to realize this individual transfer functions. Okay, so now you have two options. Either you can go for directly making use of that biquadratic equations. Okay, if you remember, there was a biquadratic equation that was given as it is. So directly take down the coefficients as such. Okay, directly take down the coefficients as you have in the equation, compare it with what you have in your transfer function and write it down. Clear? Okay, or else, like how you did for your direct form 2, that is individual transfer function like h1 of z, h2 of z can be realized using your equation that you had made use in case of your, like your y1 of z was equal to your x1 of z into h1 of z. Okay, so separating your poles and zeros, however you had done for direct form 2, you can exactly go for doing like that, or using this biquadratic, assuming every transfer function, split transfer function, to be practically a biquadratic section, you can go for directly realizing it. Okay, so here assuming that you have split your transfer function into three individual transfer function, h1 of z, h2 of z, and h3 of z. Okay, or h1 of z, and see here equation follows, so 1 2 till goes on till m. Okay, so they have realized it how exactly the cascade realization for IIR filter would look like. See, this entire thing is nothing but the realized structure for the transfer function 1. Suppose you have h of z, so this will be h1 of z, this is your h2 of z, and so on, so many until you have your hmz. Clear? So you should concentrate here on the arrangement. It is arranged in series. Okay, it is arranged in series. Clear? Now you see, if you compare this with the equations, okay, so you have your poles and zeros. Okay, you have your poles and zeros here. So the coefficients depending upon the k value a11. Okay, so here you have if you assume k to be 1, b01. Okay, then for the next one, see here, b01, b11, b21. Okay, so you have here similarly a11, we don't have 0, a11, a21 here. Okay, this is in negative. Okay, same as that we did for the direct form 1 and direct form 2. Okay, similarly if you assume, if this is h1 of z, h2 of z, the k will become 2 and you will have your values. You should be careful. If you are directly using this biquadratic equation, you should be careful with this sign. Okay, the sign of the poles and zeros that you have. Clear? Okay, now certain conditions they have given, around 4 conditions they have given, which are nothing but in case if certain terms are 0, what basically we would be obtaining. Okay, so they say hk of z will be a constant value if your b naught k, that is nothing but this is a constant value, and rest all b10, b20, a10, a20 and all this are 0. Of course, a constant value divided by 1 will be constant. Similarly, all the other conditions you can just go through it. It is just simple. Okay, all right. So I have just written h of z split into multiple transfer function. Okay, in order to make it easier realization. Okay, and h of z is a product of all this. So you should remember, in a cascade form you are successive, you have successive structure placed. Sorry, you have the structure, you have your realized individual structures placed successively to one another. Okay, so direct form 2 you can go for using. So let's see a problem. Obtain a cascade realization for system described as this. Okay, so now what are this? You need to separately see 1 plus 1 by 4 z inverse by separately you have been given this. Okay, now let's go for decomposing this into two different transfer function. What are those? We will go for 1 plus 1 by z inverse by 1 plus 1 by 2 z. This, let us consider this to be h1 of z, and let us consider it to be this, that is 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2 z inverse plus 1 by 4 z to the power minus 2. As you should always remember that this should be in terms of z inverse. Okay, it should be in terms of, otherwise if they are given as z, you will have to divide it with a higher order coefficient, and you should get it, because that is representing our del element. Okay, all right. Now okay, so here see, I have written here, you can directly use the biquadratic equation and its structure to realize the individual transfer function, or you can go for calculating the poles and zeros separately as exactly you have done. So separately, if you want, you can calculate for this two different equations. If you are exactly trying to realize it according to the direct form 2 problem that you have done, so you will get two equations for this. You will get two equations for this. That is, for poles and zeros of this, you would be representing one structure. For again poles and zeros, you would be representing this. Arranging those structures successively, you would get that. Or a bit more simpler way is using the biquadratic equation. So biquadratic equation, the structure is this. This is the structure of biquadratic, not of our problem. Okay, I have just read on here to understand. So our structure, how would it look like? Okay, so h1 of z, 1 plus 1 by 4 z inverse by 1 plus 1 by 2 z inverse is our h1 of z. Okay, now where is our h1 of z? Here is our h1 of z. Okay, now which is b there? Which is b there? I should have written it down also so that you could have comfortably seen it here. Okay, so this structure is for 1 plus 1 by 4 z inverse divided by 1 plus 1 by 2 z inverse. Okay, now in that, which is your b and which is your a? Okay, that is the question. So do we have anything as b naught value? Compare this with what you have. Okay, compare. So we don't have anything as b naught here. Okay, no value, it's just one there. Okay, all right. So for z inverse we have 1 by 4, correct? Correct. Okay, now what you have at the numerator, what you have at the numerator is basically nothing but your zeros that you represent at the right hand side. Correct. What you have at the numerator is that you represent in the right hand. What you have at the denominator is what you represent at the left hand side. That is nothing but what you have at the numerator is b coefficients, and what you have at the denominator will be your a. Okay, all right. So now 1 plus 1 by 4. So here 1 by 4. Okay, why 1 by 4? Because this is positive and 1 by 4 as it is positive. So I have written 1 by 4 here. Can you see this? Okay. Now here, what about our zeros? Okay, so 1 by 2, it is plus 1 by 2. According to the equation, it is minus a1k, so it is minus 1 by 2. Clear? Similarly for this particular transfer function, okay, so we have b as 1, we don't have anything after our delay element. So see, at this particular point we have nothing. Okay, this is same as how you realize for your direct form too. Okay, so same coefficients, same values of a and b you would get if you try to realize in the same way as you have done for the same, but calculation would be little lengthy because you have to separate transfer functions. So for every transfer function you would get 2 equation. Okay, so 4 equations you would have to calculate, and then you would be substituting here 2 equations for this, 2 equations for this, or directly use the biquadratic. Okay, all right. Now this is what you have, 1 plus 1 by 2 there. So what are the coefficients? Okay, these are nothing but your coefficients of a, right? So 1, okay, as it is it will be, for after one delay element what do you have? 1 by 2, 1 by 2, and what it should be? Minus a1. Okay, so it is minus 1 by 2. Similarly plus 1 by 4. So here again it will be, according to this it will be, according to minus it will be minus 1 by 4. So you have it. Clear? Arranging successively. Okay, so you can solve 2 problems I have given. I want you to solve it. So you can see, you can again split this also into 2, I guess. That is 1 plus z inverse by 1 minus 1 by 4 z inverse you can keep as 1. Then 1 plus z inverse into 1 plus z inverse, multiply that, you will get a quadratic equation. That divided by this you can keep as second transfer function. This also z minus 1 and z plus you can multiply together first, then have a transfer function. Okay, then z minus 2 into z, again z square minus 2z, you can have one transfer function, and you can realize below also you can multiply these two, so separate 2 transfers, split this and this both into 2 transfer function only, h1 of z and h2 of z, and realize the structure. Okay, according to your convenience. Okay, now what happens in parallel realization? Parallel realization is again simple. Only thing is you are going to arrange the transfer function. Here also you are going to split the transfer function, and every individual transfer function is the sum of each other added sum. Okay, it is the added sum of individual transfer function. Okay, the end transfer function that you have. Okay, so what basically will happen, so you are going to arrange your realized structure one below the other. Okay, you're going to realize your structure one below the other. Again, you can go for making use of the transfer function in the similar way how you did. Special cases go through. Okay, so see, this is how. So every transfer function that you have assumed that to be a biquadratic section, and you are going to arrange it one below the other. Okay, now in order to split or combine the equations that we have, we make use of partial function here, that you have to be careful. In parallel realization, we make use of partial function. Okay, to find the poles and the zeros here. Okay, so 1 plus 1 problem we'll see. 1 plus 1 by 4 z inverse 1, this is what is being given. Okay, so in partial fraction, so we would just, for convenience, we would assume this z inverse as v. Okay, and we are going to split this. Okay, how are we going to split this? According to the partial fraction, it will be a by this particular term plus bx usually, right? So here it, instead of x, it is v, so v by c. Okay, by this particular term. So you have your h1 of z, you have your h2 of z. Solve for a, b and c. You would get these values using partial function. Okay, you need to solve it using partial function. You would get it. Substitute the values of a, b, c in this particular equation. Now you know these are the values of your b that is going to fall at the right hand side. Okay, these are going to be your values of a that is going to be falling on the left hand side. That is the corresponding values of your poles and zeros. Okay, so now you can see here how the arrangement is. Okay, now this is your h1 of z. This dotted first one is your h1 of z. You see, 1 by 2. Okay, x of n is excited for both the transfer function. Okay, your x of n is exciting both your transfer function. You can see the input is given. Okay, what and all is getting added here. So you have your 1 by 2. Okay, so this is 1, and after a delay element you have your 1 by 2. So you know, according to quadratic equation, it is minus a, so it is 1 by 2 here. At the right hand side you just have your 1 by 2, that is what is this. Okay, this is your h1 of z. Now, okay, I hope it is correct, fine. Okay, similarly you have your x of n, so you have your adder here. Now 1, okay, you have your 1 here. After a delay element you have your 1 by 2. Looks like I have missed it. Okay, looks like I have missed writing it here. Yes, I have missed writing it here. Okay, it is 1 by 2. Okay, so 1 by 2, it should be minus 1 by 2. Okay, it should be minus 1 by 2 here. Similarly 1 by 4 you have, so you have your minus 1 by 4. Okay, after 2 delay elements. Similarly here the first one is 1 by 2, and here it is your coefficient for b is plus b not k according to the equations, right? So as it is, so it is minus 1 by 4 here after 1 delay element. Okay, so you have all this thing added together as y1 and y2. Finally the transfer function 1 and transfer function 2, and you have your end output. Clear? Okay, so you can try solving one problem here based on this.